I'm coming from Germany, basically from Frankfurt. And yeah, I think tonight you will expecting the typical Charlie Brown Junior set. That means waves up and downs, house music or electronic music in each ways, you know, from deep till tech. I think this is the fifth or the sixth time that I play in Serbia. My first time was in Niš, and then I almost play also Novi Sad, that is Amnesia, and this is now the second time for me in Belgrade. Last year I played at this Manolo, exactly. So it was also amazing, and I'm very glad to be here tonight. I think Belgrade is for me like each other Balkans capital. Very interesting because people are very open for everything. You know, they are open for fresh new music, and they're not so overloaded like, for example, in Germany sometimes. And that's the reason why I really love to play here in Belgrade. Example, I played, as I told, in Niš. That was another situation. It was another place. It was more cute, smaller, but I think here in Belgrade, the people are very, open and fresh, and they're waiting for foreign sounds. Probably, that's my opinion. I started with that music in the beginning of 90s. As DJ, starting very earlier, like 98, for example, but that was more hip hop what I played in this time. But my really first models were people like Kraftwerk, for example. These are for me the biggest models when we're talking about electronic music and history. Tangerine Dreams, Jean-Michel Jarre, for example, French. You know, all these very electronic pioneers are very huge for me. Very huge for me, yeah. And I don't want to forget, when we go more back, like all the jazz history and blues history, these are really the basics for what we are doing now. When we're talking about house music or electronic music, blues and jazz are the basics, and sometimes it's very interesting to listen to that arrangements and songs what they did, and it's very helpful to catch some ideas out of that by the arrangements. For me, there is no question if the music is old or young. Both is very important for me. When I'm DJing, I can represent my own production in connection with other productions in one set, and that gives a positive or sometimes also negative vibe. But this is that is normally for each musician or DJ to have not every time a good time. You have sometimes to go through difficult times, but it is like a lesson for the audience, which probably do not really understand in the moment what I try to explain. But 1 year later, they understand. So things change, exactly. For me, this question is not so important, because I just try to bring my music on tape or on a digital way in these days, bring it over and try to surprise people when I'm doing my set, when I'm playing as DJ. This is important for me. Not how people are probably in the mass react on some tracks, where you can expecting hands up and everything is jumping. This is not so important for me. Sometimes it's more interesting to bring people in touch with another style of music, and hopefully they understand. If not, they will understand sometimes. Or Driftwood or Tonica, for example, we created it together with Time Writer, a good label mate and friend of mine, 10 years ago now. It's an old game. It's in the moment we have no releases for that, but I don't want to say too many words about that because before I do wrong promises. It is just a playground for us, and I think we're coming back soon or later or whenever, but I don't want to give some wrong promises about that. Driftwood was a creation, what we did in connection with New York City. In this time, a guy worked for a record company. We know each other very well, and we came to the idea, come on, let's do a label together. It's called Driftwood. And the Time Writer and myself, we did all this production for them, for this label, and also we give for other artists the opportunity to perform on this label. So I don't know exactly when we want to continue, but we will continue definitely.
I know we go the next 13th.
Yeah, the 13th volume is out now since some weeks. It's a double package with a mild and a strong flavor CD. That's the name what I gave to that. So the mild one is more deep, more for at home. The strong one is more for clubby or for club atmosphere, for dancing situations. And my new album is out now since some days, so I'm very fresh with new sound, with new elements which are available on the market. And the next step is to perform or to produce a new album of my down-tempo project Noel, which I hope which coming out in the beginning of next year. In these days, everybody's talking about digital world, piracy, whatever. I say every time, the way to produce music, electronic music, for example, is so huge in the moment. You just need a laptop and a sound card, whatever, to produce your own track and the right software. But this is just a helpful thing. Finally, you just try to find your talent, your style. This is important. I heard a lot of productions which are very great, 100% good quality, but it's just a copy of something. And I think for each which coming up, or which try to coming up, search for your inner mind, for your talent, and how you feel. And if you're not feeling 100% comfortable what you're producing, let it be, and go to another section, or try to find really your part where you are feeling free when you're producing music. Not to. I think it's a big mistake to catch yourself in a corner where you have to probably to say, oh, I have to do that special thing to be famous. I think it doesn't work. I think it doesn't work.